We had a deep frost last night, freeze. So my tulips this morning were all droopy because they were, because the stems were weakened from the frost. Anyway, while the sun came up, while they were drying out, I wanted to prop them up. So they're propped up and they're going to stay propped up until tomorrow because they're also we may also have another freeze tonight. But aren't these great colors? I love them. Here are more. Ooh, pretty. Hi, babies. So definitely getting more of these bulbs at the end of the season, in the fall, to plant them in the fall, and more crocuses. So I'm thinking I may end up, depending on when I plant the coneflower and the sedum and the black-eyed Susans up here this summer, I may end up doing tulips all across and crocuses all across. And same as here. Again, it's because the crocuses, I just really love having something blooming when the snow melts, since the snow melts so late. So you can see that not all of these even have bloomed yet. So we have a ways to go with these pretty babies. And then I may need to do this again tomorrow morning, which is fine. Just taking care of our babies. Let's see how these babies are. Speaking of babies, over here, I don't think I pointed these out yet. We got from the conservation district 5 bare root serviceberry trees. Planted them along here. One in this deer food, another in the other deer food, and those are native and they're really good for feeding wildlife over the winter and stuff. So planted that. And then my sedum is coming up. I'm really excited because I really like that. And I think I'm going to buy a couple of those plants to put in the front bed. Because I like how hardy looking they are and all that stuff. Look at those tulips. I'm so happy. Pretty babies. Okay, and checking in over here. So my friend she split dahlia roots and gave me some, and then I needed to store them over the winter to plant them. Well, more than half just turned to wet, soppy, soupy mush over the winter. I must have stored them at too warm or something like that, or maybe too airtight. But what was remaining is planted there and over there and on this side. I don't even actually know if those are viable, but I'm hoping, because obviously dahlias are really nice. Where these sticks are rows of carrots. Carrots here, carrots there. And let's see these are transplanted plants. You'll remember from the video in the fall, me moving stuff over here. So I have to look in my book to be reminded what this was, but whatever it is growing up on its own. That's nice. This aster is not yet. Fingers crossed on that. I really want the asters to grow. I don't know if this is grass or if it's the plant. So once I start weeding, I got to figure out what's what. This must be aster here. That's cool. I think that's where the aster was. Pretty sure it is, because these things would be remaining. Let's see if this has any things like that popping up. Is it this? Or is it this? I think this, and I do not see anything coming up yet. Oh, yes I do, yes I do, yes I do. Right there. Sweet. So hopefully by the end of the summer, this will be nice and big and full and attracting bees and beautiful. Gary's doing inside window trim today. So the big story today is these gorgeous tulips as they start to really bloom. I'm really glad that I spent the money on those because I think they're really pretty. Those white wire things are just to hold up, to prop things up, and these couple nights of frost. And then I should be able to take those down after that. All right, see you later. Whoa, about to go inside. And I don't know where this little dude came from, but it followed me from somewhere and now it's running in the neighbor's yard. Oh my gosh. Never know it's gonna come up around here. Over and out. Well. What have we here? Covering up the addresses, obviously. But it looks like Anne sent me something. Is it from Anne or is it from Dad? It says Anne. So I open it up. I'm going to turn this off while I use the scissors to open the seal. Okay, open that. What is going on here? Seed storage box. Cute. Oh, look how cute this is, Gary. Will you hold the box? Or will you hold the camera or something? Will you hold it? Thank you. Look. Oh, that's so funny because I was totally thinking about how to store seeds I'm not using. You guys. Cute. Thank you. I'm excited to open it and use the pretty... What, you don't like my rando containers? It looks like they're little dividers and everything. Sweet. Thank you. How cute. Look at the little pictures on it. Butterflies, carrots. Nice. Thank you very much. All right, I'm currently in the danger zone. You know, I'm here with a list, but once you get in here and start seeing all this stuff, it gets a little confusing. But anyway, I'm doing geraniums in the front box this year. All red geraniums, hopefully all red. And then I am buying some full-grown coneflowers, some full-grown, or almost, you know, big seedling coneflowers, purple coneflowers, and black-eyed Susans and sedum. Those are native. Sedums aren't native, but the other two are. And those will attract bees, etc. I almost got some more milkweed. Just kidding. But I thought since we have this beautiful greenhouse in Munising, I thought I would get some footage because it's just so visually appealing in here. How would they sell all these plants? Oh, look at these, man. Looking nice. Looking nice. I love how they don't have prices because that's where the scary stuff comes in. Look at all that beautiful, all those beautiful plants. Look how big their dill is. Jealous. It's a real greenhouse. Ooh, look at this one. It's pretty. That's really pretty. Those flowers are great. So, should be able to plant outside soon. These are cool too. I mean, they're all nice, right? So I'm gonna go get in line with my future yard decorations. See you out there. Front yard update. Wanted to get some footage of the tulips in their full glory. We're gonna start to lose some. So get a last look. Aren't they so pretty? We've really, I mean, look at this tulip. It is just awesome, right? Look at those babies. So that was nice. Here's some more. And these are fritillaria. I think I've shown you them before, but they are deer resistant. Rhubarb. This is all where the crocuses were, this spindly green stuff. So I don't know what happens with that. Does it die off? Don't know. I saw a kitty in the window just now. Okay, then over here. Okay. First of all, I understand now. I don't know if we talked about this, but I understand now why people put crap in their gardens. It's because in the spring, when your garden looks like this, it gives something to draw your attention away from the way it looks. I don't know, it's just a guess. Anyway, so let's see. Anything that looks like this is either evening primrose or another name that I'm forgetting right now that I pulled up to transplant over there. Actually, I think that's the evening primrose, and that's the one that I can't remember the name of. But this is remaining, and I'm happy for it to whatever remains to remain, because it is very pretty and it spreads nicely. This is a wild grass that I transplanted from the Alger County Community Garden, because you remember that last year they were having a tansy problem, so they let me take whatever I wanted. That is coneflower, same from the community garden, also coneflower. Those two are coneflower, but it looks like those did not make it through the winter. That's okay. This is Black-Eyed Susan from the greenhouse, Black-Eyed Susan from the greenhouse, Black-Eyed Susan from the greenhouse, coneflower from the greenhouse, coneflower from the greenhouse, and over there are two stakes, coneflower from the greenhouse. Sedum, sedum, sedum. It's not focusing. That's sedum from the greenhouse. So those are nice. Then this is Black-Eyed Susan transplanted from the community garden. Same as that. This, I believe, is an English aster transplanted from the community garden. This is going to grow nice up to here, and if it grows well this year, and it will have great flowers late into the fall that the bees really like. Lavender, I may have cut it back too far. Don't know what's going to happen with that. This is a dahlia. What is this? I think it's a dahlia that I got from a friend. What's this gonna be? It looks like ornamental grasses, but it might just be something that didn't make it. I'll have to check the video from when I transplanted last year. This is either another, let's see. I think this is Black-Eyed Susan. I think this is Black-Eyed Susan. Maybe. I think. This is more English aster. This is another dahlia. Hostas. Don't know. Don't know. This is more of that stuff that I transplanted from over there. I needed to move it, so there's a patch here. This is ornamental grasses. This is something that's going to grow really long, and it's supposed to grow really long and spiky. I don't remember what it is. This and this was Shasta daisy that we pulled out of a 4-H garden and weren't going to use. So it was just gonna whatever. So I got to take it home, and it transplanted really nicely. I just happened. I just did it. And then these are geraniums. I'm very in love with my geranium situation. Very in love with it. So this may happen in the future. Why do I have these stakes? It's in case we get a hail or a deep freeze. And so I will cover them. We had a hail threat the other night, so I ran out and covered them all. This isn't planted yet, but I think I'm going to do cantaloupe and gourds just to try that. These are carrots planted. I don't see anything really coming up yet. Don't know what's going to happen. This side is carrots, and this side are a couple dahlia rhizomes or bulbs or whatever it's called. All right, my mom wanted begonias over here, so I planted some begonias. Shh, quiet, she's sleeping. Don't look over there. So these are all transplanted irises from the front. They were all bulked together, so I debulked them and planted them. And then you can see the begonias. And then I think the blue ones are forget-me-nots. And then there are some wild violets that I'm happy to have growing there. And those are hens and chicks. And these are hens and chicks. We're in no mow May still. So looking forward to Monday when this place is gonna get a nice mow. Over here we have a few irises transplanted from Aunt Patty. She gave them to me. These are all hyacinths that I transplanted from where the tulips are on the side of the house right now. I didn't like them there. I didn't like the blue right there. So this is all going to be blue hyacinths. The lilac's coming back this year, so maybe we'll have a few flowers this year from the lilac bush. Oop, okay, whatever. There were crocuses here. Look at this little daffodil that decided to come up over here. Isn't it cute? This type of daffodil, we had a lot last year that we didn't plant, but they just came up. And this year, they must have had a rough winter, because this is the only ones I've seen like this year. These are lilies. Tall lilies. Oh, that's what those were. Some of those were over there, lilies. We found in the side of the house where the construction sand was and stuff. So I just put them here to give them a place to live. So that's the front of the house. I'm about to water everybody for the day. And then I'm going to start planting some seeds out back today. I don't think I'll GoPro that, but that's what's happening here today. There it is. The family heirloom. The rototiller. We'll pass it on to future generations. Look at her go. Garlic and some greens are coming up in there. Today I'm going to be planting sunflowers and beans over here. Maybe I'll get to squash. We're in operation. There's marigolds. It's loud. Sorry. Cucumbers. Cabbage. These won't go on the ground for a little while because they just need to be, their roots need to be a little bigger. This is basil, coneflowers, and cabbage, nasturtium. That'll be a while before I transplant those. Basil. The basil I'm going to use as pest deterrent. So I'm growing so much of it. It'll be interspersing it with the other plants. Cucumbers and tomatoes hardening off today, and some cabbage. Basil to keep things away from my cucumbers. This is cucumber that grew from the packets that Anne gave me for Christmas. So this grew, and we have a tomato plant and 2 kinds of peppers that are growing from those. And then what didn't grow from those, there was a zucchini packet and eggplant, and those didn't take off, but that's okay. These are great. I'm excited about them. These tomatoes are hardening off, though they may need to go inside already. They need to. It's a pretty bright sun out here for little tiny tomato dudes. That's all chamomile. That's been outside the whole time, so should be okay. Let's take these little dudes in for a break. Oh, some of this is broccoli. So what, these guys? Get a little break. You can see I have operations going, the command center in here. Here's the box of seeds that Anne gave me. So nice. It's lovely. I like to use it because it's pretty. We got some parsley and stuff up here, cucumbers. This is squash. This is peppers and basil and cilantro. These are peppers, tomatoes. How you guys doing? These guys have had a rough go of it too. They got scorched one day, but they should be able to recover. Just take them a little bit longer. These, rhubarbs. I don't know why I'm trying rhubarb. That doesn't seem to be a winning strategy. These are black-eyed Susans. Oh, this is a perennial mix, a seed packet that Anne had given me. Isn't that cool? So I'll put those on the ground in the front at some point. So nasturtium, these are lupins. Super excited about those because lupins are cool, and I see a lot of them up here, and I love them. Tomatoes. This also is lupin right here. This is one that overwintered in those containers. So these are all the containers that I cracked open. Black-eyed Susans mostly. Tomatoes, peppers, tomatoes, nasturtium. Then let's go look other garden while we're taking time. This is our new plum tree. I've been spraying it with anti-deer repellent. Although all the deer are hiding because I think it's baby time. They're getting ready to birth some babies. I don't know how to birth no babies. So we have the tall green things coming up are onions, and I decided for my onions this year I am planting them in a mix with other things that they do well with to keep pests away from those other things. So for example, I think I've shown you before, but where those rocks are where my cabbage will be planted. So I get a lot of bugs on my cabbage. So I'm hoping that onions, help keep pests away. So hopefully that work. Anything that's like this is beets that I planted. I haven't had too much luck with beets, but hey, try them again. In theory, they should be fine. I planted around these stakes peas. So they're very old pea seeds. So today I might be filling in with some more seeds that are new. I got a package from somewhere, so for free. So Gary said he would weed whack the sides of this for me today. I know it's no mow May, but this is a different story in here. So he said he'd weed whack for me. And then these are greens on the long way are greens that seeds that I planted, and then the crossways are herbs that I planted. So that's the burlap is to keep the moisture in, obviously. This is spinach, so that's coming up nicely. So we should have spinach in maybe a week or 2, 3, I don't know. And then this side I haven't planted yet because I've been doing succession planting so that I can continuously have greens through the course of the summer when it starts coming up. So I may plant about half of this today. And same for this is reserved for greens. And then this is my experimental area. So this onion went to seed and overwintered, and now I'm just seeing what it does. And then there are walking onion seeds planted here from a walking onion that I got that went to seed, you know, anyway, that's in here. And then those potato seeds that came on my potato plants last year, I just plopped those in here too. Now you're updated. We should have trees flowering in the next couple weeks. Grass mowing next week. And that's what we got. We'll see you later. Good morning. I'm outside in a very mosquito-y morning, putting down some mulch over the front garden bed. Anyway, I was gonna kick this out of the way, but I'm pretty sure that's morel mushrooms, which do grow up here, and people covet these. I mean, people go crazy over these things. And look, here they are growing right in front of this box. How weird is that? We live in the weirdest place you've ever met. All right. Oh, there's another one. Oh my God, that is so wild. Holy shit. I'm gonna go tell Gary. All right. Cooking up some morel mushrooms. Growing wild right in front of us. Over and out. Hi, and thanks for watching this week's video. Before we wrap up, I thought I would give the weekly-ish yard and garden roundup. So hold on to your butts, because we're gonna do a walkthrough. Serious walkthrough. Turning the camera around. Beautiful day here in the greenhouse and outside the greenhouse. Inside the greenhouse, we have somewhere between 70 and 80 degrees. I was just pruning some tomato plants that are struggling after, you know, we've been hardening them off, and they got a little scorched. So it'll take them a while to recover, but I'm still hardening them off. So today I'm just trimming off some dead stuff of all the plants, and then taking them out to harden off the rest of the day. But this is why I decided to plant a lot this year anyway, because the hardening off, I'm not so good at it. So a lot of stuff kind of slows down or dies during the hardening off process. These are cabbage plants for the most part, and some coneflower. It's a coneflower sprout in there. These are cucumbers. These were acorn squash until a critter got to them. I wonder who. As profiled in the previous video. Ooh, they were digging around in my dill sprouts. Two little assholes. Look how they dug in there. That was flat. Ugh. So I gotta spray some critter repellent in here. These are coneflowers, chilies, tomatoes, rhubarb, coneflower. These are tomatoes. You can see how the hardening off. I gotta do it more gradually, apparently. See cucumbers too. See how they got scorched. So it'll take them a while to recover now. Parsley, dill, peppers. What is this? These are coneflowers. Acorn squash, cauliflower, cucumbers. This one, it's out. Nix. These were gotten to by a critter. Ooh, dill's coming up. Ooh, look how nice that dill is. It just started sprouting. It's taken long enough. Peppers. These are the perennials. We've talked about those before. All black-eyed Susans over there. Got some buggies up there. I don't mind a few buggies here and there. Let's put the hat on and the sunglasses and get outside. Here's the seed holder in use. Very handy. That tall tomato plant is from the 4-H kids, and so are those marigold sprouts. This is chamomile. Bee balm hasn't sprouted. It looks dry, but it's actually wet under the... I just watered it recently. That's nasturtium. You'll see quite a few nasturtium sprouts around as we do our little tour. This is my inside basil, but I'm keeping it out here to keep pests away from my cucumbers. I already pruned those today. Look, this was squash. Guess who got to the squash? Peppers. So these are all nasturtium. These I didn't need to harden off because they started growing out here, but the sun's still scorching them. Tomatoes and cabbage, etc. This is chamomile. I think the critter got to this chamomile or something. I don't know what happened. This one's fine. Oh, the lawn got mowed. Isn't it nice? Yeah, baby. Anything that looks like that is basil. This is wildflowers, and I was worried we weren't going to get anything, but I just saw, here's some sprouts, see? That's lupin, so that's cool. These are lupin. That's a lupin. These are all nasturtium and basil. So these here have been out overnight for a few nights now. The basil and nasturtiums. So are those marigolds. Purple coneflower, aster, black-eyed Susan, black-eyed Susan, black-eyed Susan. Peas, look who got in the peas. I know. And they eat a nasturtium seed in here, out of here too. These are chamomile. Okay. Moving in here. These are all stakes for beans and sunflowers that are already planted. Been keeping them wet. And then in a week or so, I'll plant squash in the corners to get our 3 sisters going. This is going to be cucumbers and broccoli, cauliflower, lettuces, stuff like that. Garlic and lettuces in here. So lettuces started to seed. Probably can get rid of this part of the burlap. This is some spice. I can't remember what. Or herb, I mean, not spice, herb. These are starting to come up too. Burlap works really well for starting seedlings to keep the moisture in. Yeah. Okay. So that's over. Ooh, these are coming in. Ooh, sorry. There we go. These flowers are coming in. I hear the bees. Love my bees. We haven't had much wind the past few days. We're under a fire warning because it's also been dry, but it would be, it's not extreme because of no wind, so that's really a lucky break for us. In here we have the onions. These are going to be tomatoes and cucumbers. That's the goal. These are onions, and then between the onions are beets, and there's one line of carrots over here. I just had some extra carrot seeds from after planting up front, so I planted them there. This was all watered this morning. And here we have different greens, and then the cross weave is herbs, but they have yet to sprout except the dill, so I've been leaving the burlap on a little while longer. It's like cilantro and parsley, so they've been a little slow, but you know what, I think it might be time to take this up because everybody else is getting a little crushed. Everybody wants to grow now. It's time to grow. See, ooh, that's all spinach down there. And then that's still open for more greens to be planted. Here's some dill on there. Hoping for dill. Sun's a little rough for them, I guess. Hopefully they get a good start though. We'll see. So that's back here. I'm gonna go take a look at a few apple trees. The flowers coming in. Let me put this with the other one. Ooh, it's nice. It's like 70 degrees maybe today. It's really, really, really nice. Here are the first ones to bloom. I hear bees. Yes, there they are. Oh yeah. It's cool. I like them. More bees. Cool. So it's very peaceful. We have a lot of forget-me-nots this year. This is the year of the forget-me-not in the yard. Not just here, you'll see them up front too. They really spread since last year. And the ferns are starting to grow in. These are edible, those little curlicues. People eat them like asparagus or something. A bunch more over here. And there. Nice. So let's go take a look up front. I couldn't even make it up front. Why? Because I wanted to show you that this other kind of daffodil finally bloomed. Isn't that weird? It's so late. They're very cute. It's nice to see them. We welcome them. These This is a lilac bush. Hopefully in a couple weeks or so, we'll get some blooming going on. Well, let's go over here because Gary cleaned a lot of this up back here. It's looking good. This is all Gary's handiwork. And he trenched this out a little bit more because we get so much water going that way. But now he cleared all this out. It's really nice. Bug Central. Bug Central. You got rocks, it looks like. Exciting. Can't have too many rocks around here. Well, some people have too many rocks around here. That's big deer food. This is lesser deer food. This is kind of a hot mess, obviously. This is kind of the last to get sorted out. After the construction, they pushed some of the service road this way into that pile, and this area was a casualty of it. However, I think that might be sedum that grew on its own. That would be super cool. Maybe it's just a weed. Don't know. If you know what that is, inquiring minds want to know. This and this are serviceberry trees that are good for wildlife. Look, this is definitely sedum. Oh, no, this doesn't feel the same as the other one, so I don't know what that other one is. Oh, yeah, and the hyacinths are starting to come in everywhere that you see them. So you'll see a lot of these stalks. All right, moving on over here. Tulips are almost done. They've been amazing. So glad we went for that. This is all chamomile. And then I planted in the other alternative ones. Looks like a critter might have gotten in there. I can't remember what I planted there. Was it nasturtium? Oh, maybe morning glories? Maybe? Because I thought it'd be cool to have vines kind of going in that area. Anyway, so these were the last tulips to bloom. This is that fritillaria. They're about done, but those were fun. The rhubarb's looking way better this year. Hopefully each year it'll keep going. Oh, those hyacinths are blooming. That's new. I didn't know there were any hyacinths left over here. See there? Because I moved them. Bye, tulips. We love you. You are awesome. All right. So, just put some chips down in this new section. And then I planted wildflower seeds where the burlap is. They're annuals. I think I pointed out before what's what up here. Coneflower's new, sedum's new, black-eyed Susan's new, and then other stuff that I transplanted at the end of the year. So I think we've been through this already. But the chips are new. So I'm very pleased that it's coming along a little bit. And then this is that section that I planted some stuff that is native plants that would take the place of grass. So you'll see the wild strawberries. The wild strawberries here are really the only ones I can actually identify. Other than that, I do not know really what is a weed, and what is what I planted. There's like yarrow and stuff like that. Anyway, I don't know. Look, here's your favorite milkweed. It's coming up. And over here, I had a couple lilies that I had ordered. So there are a couple lily roots planted there and then over there. So hopefully those work out. Those coneflowers, I need to get some chips up here for the rest of this area. Let's see if any of these, I just watered this morning. Nobody's really sprouting. These are, what are those? Calendula. I got free seed every year. Apparently Michigan has a seed of the year, and this year it was calendula. So I got some packets of that and planted. And then sprinkled along here other wildflower seeds. I need to water this again. It just gets beaten by the sun, huh? It's hard to keep it soaked or hard to keep it very wet. Some things do fine and other things struggle. This, I planted cauliflower gourds and nasturtium. This is carrots, and then the cross hatches are and then every other one is herbs. These are herbs, and these that's already sprouted are carrots. So I was just trying to keep this until the herbs sprouted, or until the carrots become too unhappy for the burlap. Put your blanket on, you guys. Stay a little moist. Those are carrots peeking through. These are more carrots and herbs. This is a different type of carrot, and I just saw these starting to come up. There are a couple. So, and then this is the dahlia, a few dahlias that my friend had given me, and these two are coming up. I think these are called, looks like it rubbed off here already. It's something yellow. Can't remember the name. This might not turn out. We'll see. Fingers crossed. And then the geraniums, of course. My pride and joy right now. Gotta deadhead these, but I don't mind. Because if I deadhead them, they'll apparently go all summer long. That is hot mess area back there. And then this all looks pretty good over there, but I think I already showed you those. And then just to give you a further glimpse of the hyacinths that are coming in here at Woodpecker. Those are irises, in case you couldn't tell. And these are all hyacinths from the bulbs that I transplanted. Here's a neighbor. Video. It's our awesome neighbor Ross. Hyacinths galore, huh? They really multiply once they get going. And these are lilies that we transplanted from the side of the house. I think I told you that already. See, I think this is the same kind of weed that was over in deer food. I don't really know what it is. It's kind of interesting. So, this is sod pulled up where I put the chips down. This is the scene of the morel discovery in this area. Maybe we'll get more next year. Hopefully they multiply. So you can see where that one was. Well, everybody, good luck. Good luck. Happy spring. Getting some butterflies around here. Everything's coming up. See you next time.